So welcome to Capacity TV. I'm joined by Michael Wheeler from NTT Communications. Thank you for joining us.
It's great to be here.
So about 100 gigabyte technology, why is this significant to the wholesale community?
From an industry perspective, 100 gig is kind of just the natural evolution from 10 gig infrastructure. The big upside in general terms is that it provides a better cost basis for the business and allows better scale from a network point of view. And ultimately, just the industry and the customers in the industry demand that level of capacity now. And so it's just kind of a natural progression in regards to really what we need to do from a backbone point of view as well as from an end customer point of view.
NTT has been upgrading its 100 gigabyte ports. What stage are you at with that?
Yeah, we started with our backbone about 3 years ago, deploying 100 gig across the backbone. And essentially every part of the network today that needs to be 100 gig is upgraded to that level or multi-100 gig in lots of cases. There are certainly parts of the network, smaller markets, some in Asia in particular, that haven't been upgraded yet, but those will just happen organically over time as we need more capacity there. In addition to the backbone being upgraded, we also deployed new routing infrastructure several years ago to support the ability for customers to connect to us at 100 gig level as well. And so those things are all in place, certainly in all the markets globally that we would need them to be in today.
So are your customers transitioning to 100 gigabyte ports in the way that you're expecting?
Historically, it's been a bit slower than we would have expected. There was, I think, a couple of reasons for that. Some of the economics around 100 gig ports weren't quite at a place yet where it made the most sense for some of our customers. And then the benefits of doing link access groups or lags with 10 gigs was still very positive, and there weren't a lot of downsides to doing that. So customers, I think, stayed on that technology a bit longer than we originally expected. But in the last 12 months in particular, we've seen a very massive uptick in customers migrating from 10 gigs to 100 gigs. And so, we really expect to see that continue for the next couple of years. So we'll still have a lot of customers at 10 gig level, but for those larger customers that have, today, dozens, if not hundreds of 10 gigs with us, we'll see them move over to 100 gigs throughout the world.
With the number of cyber attacks on the rise, what strategies do companies have in place?
From our perspective, customers of ours seem to have a pretty broad range of strategies in place. I think some are very well equipped for cyber attacks and addressing them. And I think cyber attacks as a category is such a broad category of issues to be worried about. There's data protection, there's network security events, there's all kinds of things that companies really have to contend with, especially internet or technology-centric companies in particular. So we see a pretty broad range of preparations in place. Quite frankly, some better than others. In some cases, it's a little surprising how unprepared some customers can be at times. That's probably not best case, but I think in general terms, the industry and the business community at large is getting a better sense of the fact that they have to have a plan, not only a plan to prevent or address attacks, but what they do after an attack is over. I think probably the most recent, there's been some recent examples of where that hasn't gone very well for some companies, kind of the response to an attack that's occurred. And I think everyone's learning a bit as they go. And so it'll improve, but I think the reality is that the level of preparation varies quite a lot from one company to the next.
So what kind of security services does NTT offer?
At a broad level, NTT has a lot of different security services. We have a whole company called NTT Security that provides a lot of enterprise level security services for companies. For our global IP network business, we're very focused on network security and what our customers may or may not have happened to them as being a part of our collection of customers. And so we provide a few different levels of protections in place. Kind of at a base level, we just offer some black hole routing options for any customer. It's not even a product, it's just a capability that we offer them in regards to their routing and interconnect with us. We also offer some levels of DDoS protection service that we have that include everything from ACLs to actual mitigations of attacks and other things that we can provide to help them contend with an attack once they're under attack. So it kind of, the reality is that for most customers, their needs are going to change from one situation to the next, and so we want to offer a broad spectrum of capabilities and services for them to be able to apply when those kinds of events occur.
Well, thank you for joining us on Capacity TV.
Thanks again for having me.